Hello everyone. It's another Sunday night, another Doctor Who live stream. Thanks for tuning in. I know we've already got quite a few people tuning in, which is nice to have at the beginning of a live stream. Sometimes it takes a little while for people to come into the chat, but it's nice to see that there are a lot of people watching. If you are watching and you haven't already commented, oh no, I'm speaking on my laptop, ignore that. If you are watching and you haven't already commented, then please do. It helps me to see how many people are watching. It helps me to try and have a conversation with you rather than me just going off on one talking about Doctor Who, which I will do. Let's see who is watching. We've got Black Cat, who can't wait. We've got Jude H. Hey there. Hey Jude. I thought tonight's episode was pretty good. I imagine most people won't like it as much, but I thought it was a solid story for the series. Yeah, no, I agree, actually. I don't know whether you are right about people not liking it. I did. I mean, it seems to me like a lot of people in the comments did anyway. Geek Town said that they really enjoyed it. Toby Harris really liked the episode. Jonathan Vlogs thought it was so good. Jonathan Vlogs says, hey Jonathan Vlogs. Jude H, we're waiting. I'm here. Toxic says hello Toxic. Galaxy Amber says, hey, nice to see you. Nice to see you in the chat too, Galaxy Amber. Bleniday, if that's how I pronounce your name. Hey. Black Cat, hope it's good. Are you talking about the live stream? It will be. I thought it was a good episode. Actually, before we go into the episode at all, I'm just going to say, like I always do, if you are watching and you like weekly live streams about Doctor Who, talking about the episode half an hour after it's aired, please subscribe. I really appreciate that. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching, consider it. I thought it was a great episode, to be honest with you. It wasn't my favourite in the series. My favourite, I think, is still the Nikola Tesla episode, just because I felt that there wasn't really much to flaw in that at all. But I did really enjoy this episode, and I admire it for being different, because it was different, but different in a good way. JB Vlogs thought the episode was good. Toxic thought the fingers were creepy. Blenaday, I've seen so many people talking about it being too preachy, but I really enjoyed it. And there's nothing preachy or political about confronting fears or personal issues / mental health. I agree. I did think towards the end of the episode, when they started it started becoming apparent that was the narrative for the episode. I thought, oh, we're going into preachy ground again. But then I actually thought, I don't think it is preachy, and I think I agree with you. I don't think it is preachy to talk about just chatting to your mates about fears and worries and stuff like that. I thought it was all right. Doc_11, hello again, hello. It was actually pretty cool with the whole tale of the ancient gods. Yeah, I thought it was cool. Jonathan Vlogs, this is my favourite episode since Series 12 Part 2. The mental health aspect was so nice, and for someone who had a mental health problem, I like seeing Yaz's storyline and seeing her now travelling. And moving on and getting help with mental health problems. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. And I thought Yaz's bit was great. And I'm going to go on to that. If you are new to the live stream and you haven't tuned in before, then welcome. Welcome to the family. Essentially what I do is I live stream every Sunday, half an hour after the Doctor Who episode, and talk both about what I thought of the episode, but also discuss with you in the live chat about what you thought in the episode. And we just discuss it. I've made some notes while setting up. I've got a good, bad highlights overall, and we're just going to have a good old time discussing it. And that's what I do. So welcome if you are new. Let's see what else everybody else is saying. Edward Hunter, the cold open was good, but the monster looked a bit off, to be honest. I quite liked it. When I think it was before the title sequence, when it had that bit where suddenly they looked up and it was on the ceiling and it jumped down, I was like, whoa. I just didn't, I don't know what I thought, but I just didn't see it coming. Bleniday, the animation sequence was beautiful. Yeah, it was really nice. I read yesterday that there was going to be an animation sequence in it, and I didn't know what that meant, really. I didn't know how that was going to come about, how it would work. I thought it worked quite well, and I see why they went animation, because it did. I felt that it helped me understand it by watching it like that. I got it. Black Cat. Did you already watch? Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah. Duck_11. The mum. There are no bogeymen. Shay's bogeymen. Me. Everything I know is a lie. Everything you know is a lie. Jude H. Villains were defeated a bit too easily, but it was otherwise good. Doc_11. Was this already Yaz's special story for the season? Maybe? Force Dalek. Can we just say dregs? Yeah, the dregs were in it. Who would have thought that they'd be Ryan's biggest fear? Apparently they are. Jonathan Vlogs, I think Yaz will get more in the finale. Yeah, I hope so. I think it was really nice. You know what, I'm going to go off on a tangent in a minute and talk about Yaz, but I thought it was really nice, that bit on the hill. I'll talk about it in a minute because I've got a good point to make. Force Dalek, next episode looks good. Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. It does look good though. So I thought it was a great episode, firstly. Not my favourite in the series, like I say, but it was still very good. I'd say in the top tier. What did I like about it? I just love it when the companions go home. I always think it's nice when that happens. I like it. I liked it when Rose went home at the end of series 2. You know, with the ghost and the playground. I like it when the companions go home. It feels very Russell T Davies, and I like that. That was my era that I really enjoyed, and I like it. I liked them going back to Sheffield. I loved having some backstories for the companions. For example, and it all made sense. I liked the fact that one of Graham's mates was one of the bus drivers. I don't know whether you realised this. It was one of the bus drivers that he spoke to in The Woman Who Fell to Earth to ask if anything strange was going on. That was one of his mates who was round his house, and I thought that was nice. I thought that bit of continuity was nice. I like Yaz's sister. I think she's a good, not a companion, but I think she's a good character. And I did think whilst it was on, I wonder whether she could be a companion. I think they get on really well, and I think she's probably the most likeable side character that's not a companion. I prefer her to Yaz's mum and dad, I think. But I like her. I think she'd be good in more stories. Let's see, I've got loads of comments, so I'll read these first. Force Dalek is it a 6 out of 10. Toxic, my biggest fear was of the Catwoman thing in Orphan 55. Jude H. I have a horrible feeling that Graham will become so paranoid of his cancer returning that he volunteers for cyber conversion. That is a very good theory. That's interesting. I've never thought about that before. Or the Cybermen could detect that he's ill. Maybe. Don't know. Edward Hunter really liked the ending. Yeah, it was a good ending. The ending's a bit off this series, but that was a good ending. Skinner 21. The episode was interesting. Yeah, it was. Sam Snoswell. Zelin mentioned the name Toymaker. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I thought he was going to end up being a Time Lord. And I thought he seemed very Time Lord-esque. The way he was saying he was immortal and stuff like that. And then he said about the Toymaker, and I thought, is he just name dropping the Celestial Toymaker? And I thought, am I picking up on this? Is this going to turn into this? It didn't. Although we don't know for sure that he wasn't a Time Lord, but I didn't get the impression that he was in the end. Force Dalek is missing the next episode alive, as I'm going to see Dancing on Ice. You need to stay off social media next Sunday, because God knows what's going to happen next week. Jonathan Vlogs, new Doctor Who fans. Toy Who? See, I've never watched the episode with the Celestial Toymaker, but I just know that he is a Time Lord. And that's what made me think. As soon as he said it, I thought, what? I thought it was going to be a Time Lord for a second. Vinnie Harris, I thought it was a decent enough episode, though the villains were defeated very easily. I can't even remember how the villains were even defeated. What did they even do? Oh, they went back to Syria, didn't they? Yeah, they were defeated easily, actually, thinking about it, but I didn't notice it that much. Classic fans, oh my god, Toymaker, yeah, Vinnie Harris, fingers in ears, definitely creepy. Yeah, it was a bit weird. Love the Graham Sideman idea, says Force Dalek. Yeah, that is a good idea. Jonathan Vlogs, Elsa was in the episode. Was that the girl in the dress? She had like an Elsa dress on. Skinner 21, at the end of the episode when Ryan and Yaz were talking on how long they can go on for, I got chills. Yeah, I know. Gamer Jamie, they're definitely setting up for a companion to leave. That's all I feel with these backstories and the way things are sounding. Ryan's gone. I'm just going to say it now. Ryan's gone. There's no way Ryan's going to stay past Series 12. I like to think that Yaz will. And possibly Graham. But I think Yaz is the strongest, has the most potential. Although a lot of people complain about her, I think her potential is more. Zelin is the Guardian because he knew about the toy maker. What, like the black... I know people were talking about him being the Black Guardian. Is that what you mean? Cyber 16, the toy maker isn't a Time Lord, more of a celestial being that could take a human form. Oh, okay. I was mistaken then. It's good to see different Guardians. At least as far as I took it. Okay, you might be right. Dancing on Ice has ads, so I should be able to watch, and it doesn't start till 8. But yeah, I'm sad. I will also watch your replay, mine. Oh, thanks, Force Dalek. I look forward to seeing your comment. What do you think Chris Chibnall added to this story? Good question. The little flashback to the Timeless Child. I liked that. I didn't see that coming. I would imagine that. Probably the character moments, I would say. Probably Yaz's story, Ryan's story, Graham's story. The bit with Grace, I'd imagine that Chris Chibnall wrote. But the general story, I would imagine, was written by the other person, who I can't remember off the top of my head. So another good thing that I really liked about the episode was the set for the ship, or whatever it was like a space station, was great. I really liked the design of it. With the modern cameras in Doctor Who, some of the sets just look so good, and tonight's one really did. And it was refreshing to have something that was off Earth almost, like actually far away from Earth. I quite liked that. I loved Zelin, if that's what his name was. He was actually scary. I did think he was going to be a Time Lord, but I was wrong. I liked him. I really did think he was a good character. I felt that his character went a little bit... wasn't quite as good when they saved the lady. I felt that he was better on his own, and it kind of felt like he was a bit undermined by the lady. And I didn't quite invest in her character as much. I thought he looked scarier. But I liked him. For the first half of the episode, when it was just him, I really liked him. Skinner21, I'm glad that we saw more of the Timeless Child. Yes, so am I. I wonder where that building is. Is that going to be on Gallifrey? Force Dalek, theories on the next episode. We'll go over that at the end, remind me. Jonathan Vlogs. Charlene James was the other writer. Okay, that's one of the new writers, isn't it? Because they didn't write for Series 11. Bleniday. Not going to lie, I don't want any of them to stay past Series 12. I love them all, and Yaz is definitely coming into form, but I really want to see Jodie's chemistry with one new companion and how they bounce off of each other. Yeah, that would be nice. It's just going to be a... God knows what's going to happen if all three of them are going to leave. What could force all three of them to leave? Gamer Jamie, as soon as Grace turned up, I screamed so loud I think I woke up the street. Force Dalek, same. When the set came on... I said aloud, at last, a great set. Yeah, it was really good. And 13 struggling to be on her own temporarily, so it would be interesting to see how she develops with one companion. Yeah, that would be interesting. Gamer Jamie, I think Chris keeps it up with a good story. Doc_11, the Timeless Child now can't be the Doctor or the Master because we saw that little girl now, and didn't the place of the Doctor's dream look like the resort in Orphan 55? Yeah, I mean, it could have just been the same building. I don't think they're going to go out to Orphan 55 for the Timeless Child. That would make no sense. I hope not, anyway. The building is in the dome. Is the dome on Gallifrey? I'd like it to be on Gallifrey, personally. Colin Merritt. Okay, when did the Doctor get Jedi powers? She locked up and summons the Sonic from her pocket. She looked up, you mean? But yeah, I agree. I did laugh at that. Jonathan Vlogs, I think Yaz and Ryan will sacrifice themselves in the end. I hope not. I definitely prefer Yaz to Ryan, but... You know what, I used to think that companions should die. I remember saying back with Stephen Moffat, because he kept on killing people and bringing them back, I almost felt like, come on, I want someone to die. But actually, when you think about Russell T Davis's era, companions don't really die. It's a bit depressing. I like it how... Rose went and how Martha walked away and how Donna had it. They're still sad stories, but to die, for a companion to die, I think is quite depressing. I'd like to see Yaz stay on for Series 13. Maybe with a new companion, or maybe just maybe Yaz goes home and just becomes like a companion now and again. Something like that would be quite nice. But the lighting and everything was just wrong. The dome looks different, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I agree. But it could have been Gallifrey from a long time ago, potentially. So yeah, I really liked Zellin. I actually jumped when that sort of hairy monster ran up to the glass on the ship and sort of hit the glass. That was a bit where I actually jumped at it. And I thought, that's the first time that I think I've jumped in Doctor Who in a long time. So yeah, there were a lot of things that I liked, and there's a lot of things that I put in the highlights, which I'm going to talk about in more detail. I don't know how to pronounce your name. FTUMSCHK. I much prefer Yaz to Ryan. His delivery in this story drained me of the will to live. He's definitely not as good, I don't think. I just feel like sometimes it's a bit wooden with Ryan, and I don't know whether it's the writing or the acting. Him and his mate were just a little bit wooden, I thought. James, I want someone to die. Me. Hold up. Blended A. Oh, I hope no one dies or it ends sadly. I want it to go back to leaving on their own accord. New Who is just filled with traumatic and upsetting departures, and it becomes so expected. Cyber 16, I love to see the Doctor and Yaz stay on for next series, with another new companion added in to keep it interesting and fresh, and to stop Phasmin happening. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the things that I wasn't as keen on about the episode now. So I didn't think that the second half was as strong as the first. I felt that the first half, I was really enjoying it. And I was sat there and I was thinking, you know what, this is really good. I'm really enjoying myself. Not that I didn't enjoy the second half, but the second half, I feel from the moment that they saved the lady from the jail thing, it kind of took a bit of a dip. I liked all the companions tied up, handcuffed up. I thought that was cool. It was a good premise for a two-parter, I thought. If they'd have had that, maybe they were locked up or something. I don't know. I just felt like they got out of it quite easily. I felt like the second half wasn't as strong, although the bits with the characters at the end, Graham talking to the Doctor in the TARDIS about his worry about cancer coming back, Yaz and the police officer, Ryan and his mate to an extent, I thought was really nice, and actually I think that was much better in the second half, but overall the second half wasn't as strong, I didn't think. Okay, this person's told me how to pronounce their name. Fotum Stuck, if that helps. I don't know if it does. Force Dalek. Now I've heard that idea, I really want to see that Graham Cyberman idea. Yeah, I know. Who said that? Reveal yourself. Who said that? Someone said that. Jude H. Good idea, Jude H. Good idea indeed. Everybody likes your idea in the comments. So yeah, the second half wasn't as strong as the first half, I didn't think. Yeah, problem with Ryan and his mate. Do we even know what Ryan's friend's name is? Because I was thinking, this is the second episode he's been in. I genuinely, even the Doctor called him your friend. And I just thought, even with Rose, she used to mention her friend like Shrina or something. Or like, I remember Donna mentioning her mate. I don't even know what the name of Ryan's friend was, which is kind of bad. I feel like just to give him a name. Force Dalek is reminding me to talk about next episode theories. Yep, in a minute. Edward Hunter, the Silurian, the Syrian girl stealing at the beginning could have been used more. I completely forgot about that. Force Dalek, good idea, Jew H. I agree. So yeah, it was undeveloped in my opinion. Ryan's mate didn't really get him. So what were my highlights? Yaz's backstory. Firstly, what a good backstory. Although I don't quite... Are we meant to know why she was running away? Because that didn't quite click for me. I liked the fact that she was on the sort of in the countryside. I like the fact that the police officer came up. I like to think, and it seems to me like that was what inspired her to be a police officer. It was really nice. And actually, if I'm honest, I think I actually preferred that Yaz to the Yaz now. Because the Yaz now is kind of all, everything's good. The Yaz then had conflict and it seemed a lot more human. And I actually thought when she was there, she did seem younger. She seemed more like a 19-year-old there. And I thought to myself, you know what? That is who Yaz should be, I think. I preferred her, I've got to admit. And I actually thought to myself when I was setting this up, if it was just Yaz as a solo companion for the 13th Doctor, I think something like that scene would have been really, really fitting in The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I think that would have been really good, having her sat there. I mean, what is she feeling worried about? I mean, her being gay sprung to mind for me. Because I think it was mentioned that she was running away from her family or something, and I thought maybe her family weren't accepting of it or something like that. But I honestly don't know. And how does her sister come into it? And why would they have an anniversary meal because of it? Would they have an anniversary meal for Yaz coming out? Or I thought maybe it's an anniversary meal for a nan dying or something. I honestly don't know. For those who think that Zellin was a Time Lord or a Guardian, he said that he was an Eternal. See the Davison story in Enlightenment. Okay. Edward Hunter, Jude H. Doc_11. It was such a missed opportunity with the Doctor and her nightmare. The fam could have asked her what her dream was and she should have been Gallifrey. When will she tell them? It'll be the finale, surely. Gamer Jamie, sorry. I love them to do an episode where nothing happens, just pure character development. No aliens, no bad things. Just these four characters figuring each other out. Maybe with the next set A. Name was Tybo. Oh, that was Ryan's friend's name. They didn't mention it much. I didn't even know it. So that shows how little they mentioned it. Blenny Day. I also disliked 13's reaction to Graham opening up. They spent all the time writing about how socially awkward she is. She could have had a hopeful message in that time. Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird. I mean, I like the fact that she's a bit socially awkward, but I thought it's a bit disrespectful to Graham. He's literally saying that he's worried about dying, and she's there going, I'm just going to think about an answer in a minute. And I thought, meh. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean there. I'm just going to call you F rather than pronouncing your name. Good call, Blended Day. That was a wasted opportunity for the Doctor to give a memorable moment with Graham, but they blew it. Yeah, they did. Rude joke, brackets. So the villains give people the finger? Yeah, apparently. Great point, James. I also think she's gay. Gamer Jamie. Well, it would tie into the fact that Yaz's mum asked if Ryan was her boyfriend, then if 13 was her girlfriend, so it could point to Yaz being bisexual. Yeah, potentially. Way back in Arachnids in the UK. Yeah, it could be. So yeah, I thought Yaz's backstory was really good. On board the ship was another highlight. It just looked great. Zellin was another highlight. I really liked his character. Graham in the hospital. I forgot about that. Graham's nightmare in the hospital. Yeah, it was really good. And then it turned out to be Grace. Yeah, I felt really sorry for him, I've got to admit. And I don't know. Are they building up for that to happen? Is it going to come back? Because he said his checkup was okay. But yeah, it was really nice. I felt that I read something, I think, the other day where they said this episode just adds a good bit of depth to the characters. And yeah, it just did. Especially with Graham. I thought that was really nice. Toby Harris. I hope the villains come back. My favourite villains of Jodie's era so far. What, the furry ones? Did we even get a name for them? I think we did, didn't we? Meh, they didn't. I didn't get the motivation of them. They were alright. Doc_11. Maybe it's the anniversary of her not committing suicide. Also, the BBC pointed out that the helpline after the episode was pretty cool. Could be. I mean, it could be. I hope that we find out in the finale, to be honest. I think that would be nice if we found out in the finale, but I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. What did you think of the animation for Says 4-star? Like, yeah, it looked great. I really, really liked it. I wasn't sure how it would fit into the episode, and I wasn't sure whether it would look out of place, but it actually worked, and I thought it was quite good. It helped me understand what they were trying to explain, and I think that's why they put it in there, because if it was just 13 doing all the talking, or Zelin doing all the talking, I don't know whether you'd be able to fully get it. F. For me, the animation sequence brought back nice memories of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I haven't seen that. Cyber 16, Ryan and his mate. Kind of a problem going back to Knock Knock. It's hard for the writers that aren't modern teens to truly display how they talk to each other. Also, T, really. Yeah, no, I agree, actually. And I think at one point he said, I can't remember what he said. He said, like, man's doing this or something like that. And I just cringed, and I thought, this sounds like an adult trying to write a 19-year-old, and it just is a bit cringy. Gamer Jamie, if the cancer comes back, would give Graham a reason to leave, and maybe Ryan leaves with him to look after him as a promise of some sort to Grace. See, I think that, would the Doctor not have some way around cancer? Is there not a cure somewhere in the universe? I just think for the Doctor to be like, yeah, you've got cancer. Sorry, there's nothing I can do. I don't know, is that believable? I feel like the Doctor's come up with stuff before to try and help companions, but then it could be quite insensitive if the Doctor suddenly just gets out a potion and just to drink this, it'll get rid of your cancer. So I don't know. Blended Day, I hope it's not related to suicide attempts. Will be a bit of an orc to celebrate that day every year. Yeah, I agree. Here's a reminder of when you nearly died and ended your life. Where you nearly ended your life. Time for cake. Sam Snoswell, Hitchhiker's Guide of Galaxy is a brilliant film. Haven't seen it. Cybermen, Frankenstein. Next week. The last thing that I really liked, which was my highlight, was the end scene in the TARDIS. Ryan talking to Yaz about how long they should stay. Graham talking to the Doctor. I think it definitely hints. Ryan's gone. Yaz might be gone. They've all got conflicts, which is nice. They've all got sort of inner conflicts. That's what actual characters should have. Because I felt like in Series 11, they were just kind of all happy-go-lucky. But the companions, they've always had sort of conflicts, and it makes them feel more real. And I think, I honestly couldn't call it. I could see all of them going at the end of the series. I think definitely Ryan. But I don't know. I've been asking myself this whole run of Jodie. 11... gave this woman with brain cancer this onion tasting fluid and she was cancer free. Yes. So why doesn't she have a cure now? Yeah, exactly. I mean, Graham's not got it at the minute, has he? But the idea of him having it back and then the Doctor going, sorry, it just feels weird. Blender Day, that was in a novel, I'm sure. 8 Met Mary Shelley. Yeah, that is true. That was in Big Finish, I think. Jamie is saying, Jamie's my mate by the way, see if their contracts are renewed for the next year. I don't think they've revealed any of it. I feel like someone said that Bradley Walsh was going to be in Series 13, but I'm not 100% sure. So what did I think overall? I thought it was a great episode, just wasn't my favourite this series. I can't get over how much more interesting the episodes are in Series 12 than they were in Series 11. They just have so much more depth to them, and it's just good. My last note was that there is no way that Ryan is making it out of this series. Do you think the Ruth Doctor will appear in the finale? Yeah, I do. Sam Snoswell, it's time to bring back more classic monsters and villains. Yeah, that would be nice. The Daleks are apparently in the special. I hope Yaz stays on at least. Honestly, with just 2 episodes, it honestly feels like we're starting to get to know Yaz, says Cyber 16. Yeah, I agree. I think Ryan announced he's out. No, I think it was announced that he's going to be in a show in America, and they haven't announced that he's leaving, but it obviously hints towards it. So yeah, next week's episode looks good, doesn't it? It's the Mary Shelley episode with Frankenstein, and there's been talk for ages that the Cybermen, possibly the lone Cyberman, is going to be in it, and that is going to inspire Mary Shelley to write Frankenstein. So that could be very interesting. My theory to Force Dalek about next week's episode is I will be kind of disappointed if the lone Cyberman isn't in it. I feel like it would be quite nice to have a lone Cyberman episode, and then it builds up something. Obviously, the Doctor can't give the lone Cyberman what it wants, which we already know. It could be a human. I know that I saw a photo of the Cyberman with like part of the face off, and there was someone underneath it. It looked like it could be Ryan, so that's a really interesting theory. The idea that if it was Ryan in the future and they see him as a Cyberman, what are they going to do? Obviously, the Doctor's going to have to give him what he wants because it's Ryan. So that would be a great story. Doc 11 just hopes that Graham stays. I like him a lot. We need this parental figure in the TARDIS. Ethan Allen. What was the Master's code for the Doctor after the episode? And I love the name. What was the Master's code? What does that mean? Force Dalek. Yeah. Best keep off social media next week. I would if I were you, Force Dalek. Sam Snoswell. What's the 7th Doctor episode? The greatest show in the galaxy. For the first time. Okay, I haven't seen that. I'll find it. Yeah, next week's episode looks good. Could be the Lone Cyberman episode. It could be. It's technically the penultimate story because we know that the last 2 episodes are a 2-parter. So it's technically the penultimate story. It might end on a cliffhanger. If it is the Lone Cyberman and the Doctor will inevitably probably give it what it wants, give the Cyberman power again, what could happen? Could be really interesting. That's all I've got to say on this week's episode, to be honest with you. Thanks for talking to me in the chat. It's been good as always. I am very excited for next week's episode. I think next week's episode is going to be really good. I really like the history episodes, the fact that it's sort of Frankenstein. I like the idea that Mary Shelley gets inspired by the Cybermen to write Frankenstein. That could be really good. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like I said at the beginning. Like the video down below. If you're watching this and it's not live, then please comment because I still reply. And I will be back next week, half an hour after the episode has aired, which I assume will be the same time as always, so it'll probably be 8:30. But if you're not sure, follow my social media links. They're all in the description of the video. So follow me on Twitter. I always tweet about when I'm going live. And that's everything. I'll just read a few last comments. I wish they brought back Class as Skinner21. Blended Day says, I'm loving all the episodes from the second half of the series, but I hate how disconnected it all is. Like, where's the connection to the Roof Doctor reveal? It's coming. Force Doctor, see you next week on the replay. Yes, I'll see you in the comments. Enjoy Dancing on Ice. Gamer Jamie, I don't think the Cybermen are in next week's episode. I hope that they are, though, because Cybermen would be amazing, and we would have a sort of 3-part finale. That would be so sick. Blended Day just subscribed. Thank you very much. Doc_11 says adios. Thank you, everybody. I will see you next Sunday. Where is my mouse? I will see you next Sunday for the live stream and the reaction for Doctor Who episode 8 of series 12, potentially the penultimate story. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody.